It's the voyage of voyages, a journey that harkens back to the movie classic Around the World in 80 Days. Starting in 2016, one company will send passengers 19 miles high, right to the edge of space. And it'll offer this service not on a rocket, but rather on a helium-filled balloon. The Arizona-based company, called Worldview Enterprises, has plans to attach a balloon to a pressurized capsule that can hold up to 6 passengers and 2 crew members. After lifting off, the balloon would take approximately an hour and a half to reach a height of 100,000 feet. And that's just high enough to see the curvature of Earth.
So how is it possible to take a balloon like this all the way up to space? Well, I came down to NASA's ballooning laboratory in Wallops Island, Virginia, to find out.
This is where the magic happens, NASA's one and only ballooning workshop. It's home to a number of engineers and researchers whose sole focus is to make discoveries by sending scientific instruments up to the edge of space and back.
Balloon flights are actually the oldest form of flight, and the physics are actually very simple. You have buoyancy in the balloon, it lifts you up to a particular altitude, and then you fly.
Believe it or not, the concept is just that simple. On the ground, the balloon is filled with a very small amount of helium. And as the balloon ascends into the atmosphere, the helium expands to volumes of up to 40 million cubic feet. And while they are sturdy enough to carry up to 8,000 pounds, NASA has no intention of taking balloon manned missions anytime soon. But that hasn't stopped private companies from chartering their own manned missions. Just last year, Red Bull sponsored daredevil Felix Baumgartner, who jumped to Earth from a helium balloon, setting the record for a parachute jump from the highest altitude. And outside of balloon flights, companies like Virgin Galactic and SpaceX will soon be offering commercial trips to outer space by rocket. These private escapades are all part of a flourishing industry that's taken root in the last decade, called space tourism. In fact, in the next 10 years, the FAA says this industry will be worth $1 billion.
And we had liftoff.
That's a large growth considering it was just in 2001 that Dennis Tito, an American engineer and multimillionaire, became the very first space tourist.
It seemed very kind of cavalier at the time, and I think our track record has proven that even the wildest, craziest ideas can become a reality.
That's Tom Shelley, the president of the company responsible for making that unprecedented mission happen.
We arrange for very successful, very wealthy individuals to be able to fly into space, and we will look to continue to do that. But we're very much looking forward to a lower-priced experience being available.
But lower prices in the industry don't exactly translate to a low price overall. Take a ride via rocket and you're looking at a price tag of $250,000, while a balloon ride is a bit more cost-effective at $75,000. While it might not seem like a competitive market just yet, the choices for private spaceflight are growing by the day. More and more companies are beginning to privatize some of the oldest technologies, creating an opportunity for ordinary people to pay their way up to space. In Washington, Amira David, RT.